Hi there, so I wanted to jump on and make a video about Rumble. I don't know about anybody else, this is purely just my feeling, no evidence, but I'm a little bit worried about Rumble now. And like I said in my last video, I am such a supporter that there's new channels that are gaining some traction, because I do not like monopolies. I don't like monopolies in any area. And I think what people don't realise is there's a lot more monopolies than we realise in many areas. We live in an illusion that we have all this choice because we see so many different companies, so many different products, so many different food brands, drink brands, news brands, and we think, well, there's no way they can all be aligned. They've all got different brands, they've all got different branding, they've all got different logos. But when you actually track them back, and I'm not going to go into this in this video, I don't know all of them, and this is up to people to go find on their own back, but you will find that a lot of these companies are all owned by very relatively few parent companies, and there's not that many companies, unless you're buying from small individuals. There's not as many companies as you think there are. A lot of these are just different brands within the same parent company, and that includes the news. I'm sure a lot of you watching these videos know that already, but a lot of news organisations and media organisations all come under about 5 different parent company umbrellas. And then we've got the same for food and drink. You know, Coca-Cola, I'm not going to list everyone they own, I don't know, but they own a lot of different smaller companies, and this creates monopolies, which I don't like monopolies. I don't like how powerful Amazon is becoming either, and it's why I don't not use them at all, but I really do try to use sort of smaller independent companies as much as I can and not just rely on Amazon, because then what will end up is we'll have one monopoly company and all smaller people will be almost forced to apply to their terms and conditions because that's the only place they will sell. And then over time, all that needs to happen is Amazon starts to make their conditions less and less favourable for sellers, but you're kind of hooked in because there's nowhere else to go. And this is why I don't like monopoly, because this is exactly what's happening on YouTube. It's got a monopoly to a degree, and what happens is it can start changing all of its the things that you joined up with. It can start changing, it can start paying less to its contributors, it can start changing its terms and conditions, and because you're hooked in, you've got all your audience there's nowhere else for you to go, you just have to accept it. And the same happened actually. So my background is photography, and I used to take fashion, but I used to put a few images on stock photography sites. And what was really interesting on those is they would pay you a certain amount, and then over time they started to pay less and less and less and less, and they would change all the terms and conditions. But because you'd spent not hours, days, weeks, years, whatever, uploading these photos to stock sites, you kind of ended up in this thing where you thought, well, I suppose I might as well just leave them there. And a lot of people at the time kicked off in the forum, and some people deleted their entire portfolios. But a lot of people, I guess, just thought, well, I'm earning something and they're all as bad as one another now. And, you know, it took me so long to upload my portfolio and get a certain amount of sales per month that I'm just going to leave them. And this really is why I'm so against monopolies. I myself, I've started to, I've hardly got any videos on this topic, but I've already got some yellow ad sustainability dollar signs, i.e., unsuitable for advertising, and that's because one of them was on my Dr. Berg talking about natural health, and another one was on one of my Russell Brand videos. I can't remember which one it was now, but it was weirdly just one of them. And I haven't really said anything mind-blowingly shocking. I haven't used any swear words from what I can think. Do call me out if I have. And I'm ad sustainability already. And the thing with Rumble is, I believe that they've already had some advertising pull, and this is where I was going with all this. One of them being Burger King, I believe, and that's, if a few big parent companies decide to pull on Rumble, that's a lot of small brands that pull on Rumble, and then they start a landslide, and then everybody else pulls, and that is a little bit of, one of my, I don't worry about things, I use the word kind of loosely, but it is a worry to me that if they can't stop Rumble, if people can't control what Rumble posts, that they will come after Rumble and try and shut down Rumble. Let's see what happens, but it's just a little thing that I am wondering if that is gonna come next in this story. So we'll see how that goes. And I think, what do we have to learn to do? And I'm going to do my next video is on kind of how we deal with this, or how I feel we deal with this, and it's to do with learning to be able to speak your truth in a very calm, rational way without getting defensive, which I'm sure we've all done. And I do think it's sort of an important part of humanity's growth, is that we learn to be able to stand in our truth, not be afraid of our truth, not be afraid if some people are offended by it, if it's really an authentic truth that we feel. And we should be able to share and have discussion on these things. And I think this is going to change a lot going forwards, and I can already see the turn. And I hope everyone's good, and I'll speak soon. Bye bye.